Blind Beauty. William James said, "Action may bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action."
Hello everyone, and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. What we are going to do today is I am going to continue my beginner beauty series. If you're not sure what that series is, I'll have a playlist down below where I went through different aspects of makeup, and you can check that out. My most recent one was eyeshadow, so if you want to see how to apply eyeshadow, the basics of it, you can find that in that playlist below. And today we're going to focus on liner and mascara. Yes, I am lumping them into one because this is a basics tutorial. I'm not going into winged liner, I'm just going into basic eyeliner. Like eyeliner, waterline, under, lower lash line, all that. So, why don't we go ahead and jump in here and get started, because I'm going to go through the tools as well as give you a demo and the different options that there are out there and what they're all for. So let's start out with tools. Now you have several different options for tools. Now some of these things that I have here are somewhat, I can't say pricey, but they're not actual drugstore. Well, one of the products is not actual drugstore. This here is a BS small brush right there. This is a slanted eyebrow or slanted liner brush. You can also use it though to do the brows, but it's a slant tip brush. It's a small slant compared to some of the others that are more cut steeper, like some of the Real Techniques brushes. Like Real Techniques does have a flat liner brush, I believe, that is thicker than this one as well and steeper cut. But this one here, set those other brushes down there, it looks like that, and you can tell here that it is rather thin, which makes it great for getting in there and doing an eyeliner, whether you're using any of the products I'm going to talk about or you're using shadow, because you can use eyeshadow for your liner. So, that is an option if you do want to use that. And forgive the brows, by the way, they are a little bit crazy. I tried doing something different and went a little bit nuts. And y'all are in a little closer so that I can get closer to y'all to show you how to do liner, because that is important, is being able to see what someone is doing in the demo. So that is one brush, that first brush that I showed you, that you can use for liner. You can use it, like I said, to do it on the upper lash line. You can even use it to smudge out liner on the lower lash line. Either one. And then you also have this brush here. It's one by Real Techniques. This is their accent brush right here. I think it's meant more for outer V or definer brush type thing. But sometimes I like using it if I'm wanting to smudge shadow or smudge my liner on my lower lash line. But then you also have these two type of brushes. Now these are your regular eyeliner brushes. This one here by e.l.f. is an angled eyeliner brush. And this is what I recommend for anyone that is beginning to do liner. These are $3, maybe $4. I bought mine a long time ago. It was $3. But whenever I say it's an angled eyeliner brush, there are ones that are like cut across like what I showed before, but this one here is in the Studio line. It's the black one here, and it has a bent neck to it pretty much, so that it makes it easier to really get in there on the lash line, on your upper lash line, and really work with it. For an absolute beginner, I highly recommend this one because it worked wonderfully for me. Excuse me, my nose is itching. But the other option that I was showing you here is the Real Techniques. I believe this is their liner brush. Fine liner brush, pardon me. Let me correct myself. Fine liner brush. Now, these tips are about the same, it looks like. The fine liner brush is a little longer. If y'all can see that, I'm not sure if it's going to focus just right, but that is the angled liner versus the fine liner. But they are about the same size. If anything, the e.l.f. one is actually even finer than the fine liner brush by Real Techniques. Now, the Real Techniques brushes that I showed you, they can, at least back in the day, whenever I got them, there was a starter eye kit that you got like 4 or 5 different brushes with, and that's what I got this in. But this e.l.f. one, you can pick it up from Walmart, Walgreens, I think it's elfcosmetics.com or something now. Used to, whenever I was on there, it was eyeslipsface.com. So that was a long time ago. Now let's talk about the different eyeliners you have a choice of. Now, of course, some people may prefer to go with a straight up pencil liner, like so. This is the Rimmel Scandalized Kohl eyeliner. If you can tell, mine is not very sharpened right now. Now that is one tip I do have for you. Make sure it is well sharpened if you're going to use it. Now, one thing that you could actually do, especially since it's back to school time here, you can get a little pencil sharpener from the Dollar Tree, from Walmart, wherever, and just keep it on your vanity. And it's got the little thing at the bottom, and I use it to sharpen my pencils. And you can go as sharp as you want or as mild as you want. You know, I like mine fairly sharp if I'm going to use it. And this is one of the very first products I did feel comfortable using as eyeliner. So if you are an absolute beginner, this is a great product as well. I'm going to be sharing all of my favorite products really for beginners in this tutorial. So I really shouldn't say, this is a great one, this is a great one, this is a great one, this is a great one. But, yeah. But the Rimmel Scandalized Kohl eyeliner, if you're wanting something that you can just throw on, that's waterproof, because this stuff don't budge on me, and it's a pain in the butt to get off later, and it's not wanting to sharpen right for me right now for some reason. But I wasn't going to use it today anyway. That's okay. Because we've got so many other options that I'm going to share with you today. We also have the, let me see here, okay. We also have the Rimmel Scandalized Retractable Liner. That's this one right here. Yeah. This one is in nude. And this one here, it also has a smudger tip on the other end. Now, I prefer, if I'm wanting to do the waterline, to use that Kohl pencil, but I don't have the Kohl pencil in this one. But this still does work on the waterline. Then another kind of eyeliner you have is the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny. It is in a hot pink tube and it has a little black into it. At least mine does. It's, I believe, the color black. But this one here, I'll roll it up just a tiny, tiny bit, because I don't want to waste the product. They can't roll it back down. But that is how little that one is compared to, say, this Rimmel one. I'm going to show you them side by side here. Now I do have the Rimmel one a little further up. Let me roll it back down just a little bit. I mean, if you can tell, the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny is significantly smaller than the Rimmel one. So that does work as well in the waterline. And you can also use it to tight line, but I'm not getting into tight lining today because, number one, I'm still new to tight lining myself. I'm barely good with doing my waterline. So, you know, but tight lining, that's a way of like making your eyelashes look fuller. But for me, it's just so hard to pull my lid up and get right in there under the lashes, between the lashes and your eyeball. It's scary. Then you have your liquid liners. Now here I have a couple different ones. I have a H2O proof eyeliner from Wet n Wild, which is in this little triangular shaped thing. And then I also have the Essence Super Fine Liner. Super Fine Eyeliner. Now here is the Essence one, right here. That is a nice tip to it. And then I'm going to undo the Wet n Wild one as well and show you that. That is the Wet n Wild one right there. That's Wet n Wild right next to the Essence. Let me put my hand up there. Wet n Wild is over here on my right, my right, your left, and then the Essence is on my left, your right. So the Essence one is a pen style format, so if you are more comfortable using a pen, which I was, well, I still am, I can't say I was, because I'm still more comfortable using a pen format than I am using the wand style like the Wet n Wild right here. Because here, you can't get your hand all the way down to the very tip where you have more control. But with the Essence one, you can go right down by the tip if you need to, and you're not taking a chance of getting eyeliner all over your hands in the process. So I will be demonstrating the Essence one today, as well as the Rimmel that I was showing you, and I will talk to you about this other liner as well before I get into the actual demo. This right here is an e.l.f. eyeliner, and it is one of the, well, this particular one is not the very first one I ever bought, obviously, because they dry out. But this is the e.l.f. cream eyeliner, I believe is what it's called. And these are also $3 or $4. And you can tell I have used this quite a bit. Well, not a whole lot, but there's a little divot in there. But this here is one of the very first products I ever used to do my eyeliner. If I'm wanting to use a gel or cream format like that. And I used it with the e.l.f. brush. No, this is not sponsored by e.l.f. But, you know, a cream like this is a good thing. Maybelline also makes a good one from what I hear. L'Oreal makes a decent one from what I hear. But that right there are the actual liner products. And I tend to want to do my liner before I do my mascara, so that's what we're going to do here. Now, I want to always have my eyeshadow done before I go into eyeliner as well, because then I risk messing up the liner if I don't. Because I have actually tried doing it that way too. But now I'm going to take the super fine liner. I've already taken the cap off. It's just a pop cap. Now I'm going to try to stay in frame, or where y'all can see me and not cover you up. But I'm looking down into a mirror here. And that's what I do recommend, is look down into a mirror. And depending on what you want to do, now I like to start on the inner corner and work my way out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start at the inner corner, and I lay it down practically on the lash liner as close as I can get it. And that's what I like about this liner. You can get it right in there and kind of just like stamp it on. This is a little difficult to do while I'm talking. And I'll also take you through some goofs, you know, what happened, or what you can do if you do mess up. Then with me, once I get about 3/4 of the way in, I have to flip my wrist and go on that outer corner. So, and I'm just doing small strokes. If you notice, it's real small strokes. I'm not doing heavy. Whoop. Just poke myself in the eye. That does happen, by the way, whenever you're doing liner and all that. It can very easily happen. But just take your time with it. Don't rush it. Some people would say even do dots and then try to fill them in, but for me, since I have enough trouble seeing my lashes, why do dots whenever I'm not likely I'm going to connect them? Now, if you can see very well, that is an option. Do little dots and then, like, slowly connect them. But that, if you can tell, that is with eyeliner and that is without. My right, your left, is with liner, and my left is without. Now, if you want to make it a little bolder in one area, like say you have small eyes and you want to open them up a little more, that's where you try to make it a little heavier right towards the center of the lid. And you can go over it as many times as you want to. And I'm capping the essence. Well, actually, I need to do my left eye, don't I? But like I said, it's just real small strokes. You can even put it right down, like, on your actual eyelashes. That's how I sometimes will do. Like my left eye, I can't hardly see it. So whenever y'all are watching my tutorials, if my left eye looks weird compared to my right, that is why. So, but you just do like we did before. Just small strokes. And that's eyeliner on the left eye. Now, and I'm going to go back and just add a little bit more on the right eye. So, now you could have used the gel and the angled liner brush in the same way. You just dip it in whenever you're wanting to use the gel. Now, I'm not actually going to do it right now, but I will show you how you get started with it. Because with the pencil, all you have to do, or the pen, like I was using, the liquid liner, it basically already comes loaded up. You don't have to worry about loading it up. I took the lid off the e.l.f. I take my brush, and I put it in there, really coat the brush, but then I take it and I wipe it off. Like, wipe it off on the side of the jar. And then you just take it and draw your line. You can tell that it does do a thicker line depending on how you lay the brush as well with the angled liner brush. That's why I kind of like the superfine liner brush on the Essence, but because that's what the e.l.f. one does. Now then, you can take like the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny and do under the lash line. You can also take any eyeshadow, dry eyeshadow. This is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette right here. Right here. You can take any of these shadows if you wanted to. Got a hair on my lip. But you can take, say, the angled liner brush that I showed you, like the one that has the slant to it. With the Comfort Zone palette, I'm going to go into the dark brown color down here. Now this does have some shimmer. Normally on my lower lash line I don't want any kind of shimmer, but just for the sake of this tutorial I'm going to show you it with this. Or better yet, let's go in with something less dramatic, because I don't normally like darkness under my lash line anyway. I'm going to go with this very bottom shade. It's like a reddish brown color. And I'm just using the Real Techniques fine liner brush, and you go in with it and you just get it right there on the tip, just back and forth a couple times, tap it off, grab your handy dandy mirror. Again, you want to look down into the mirror, and I'm going to go as close to my actual lash line as I possibly can. And you just slow and steady strokes. Slow and steady. Now some brushes are better at this than others, but I really don't have a crazy eye look on today, so that is where a color like this will just help define that lower lash line a little more. Now if you do want to go more bold, you put it on the side of your brush, and you can. You know, but you can tell that you can go way out of control real quick on that lower lash line. That is with liner, and that is, or lower lash line liner, and that is without. So I'm going to go ahead and try to match it up here as best as I can. Like I said, it's slow and steady, small strokes, and I only go about maybe 3/4 of the way in usually. Now today I am going further in because I don't have anything on that inner corner. But you can use a lighter color, like whatever color you're using as your highlight. You can use that on that lower quarter if you want to. So that does work very well, by the way. But you can tell since I added like a reddish color that it kind of brings out the red more in my eyes. That is where taking a nude colored liner, like so, does help. I'm taking the Rimmel Scandalize liner, and I'm going to put this on the inner waterline. Now I'm not pulling my lid down like I sometimes do, but and I go from inner corner to outer corner. Alright, now on this left eye I will pull it down just because I can't really see to use a mirror anyway. So you pull it down and then it's slow and steady strokes. Like you're, almost like you're dotting it on. Like a tap and drag, tap and drag. That's what I tend to do with my eyeliner, just tap and drag, tap and drag. And this here is very difficult sometimes to get off at night. That is where some kind of like a makeup remover of some kind, like Garnier Micellar Water, or a makeup wipe of some kind does help, or even using straight up olive oil or coconut oil can help take eyeliner off. Since we got the liner done, let's talk about mascara a little bit. Well, before I move on to mascara, with a liner you can also, like if you wanted to use a creamy eyeliner, like the Kiss or the e.l.f. on the upper lash line, you can even set it with an eyeshadow. And that also helps you to smudge it out if you want to. So that is an option if you feel like you might have messed up a little bit. You can do that. Now we'll move on to mascara. Now there are different tools that I recommend having, and I'm just saying in general. You don't have to have a certain one, a certain brand, or anything like that. But this here is the e.l.f. eyelash curler, right here. And this one here, I believe, is like a $2 curler. It's pretty good. You know, I've bought them from e.l.f., I've bought them from the Dollar Tree. You know, you can get them almost anywhere, really reasonable. And you can even get some that are heated, that are more compact, whatever the case may be. There's so many different brands of eyeliner, or eyelash curlers. But this here, this does not have a spring in it, mine doesn't. And all I do is I open it up, get my lashes right in the middle of them, of the two pads, well, rather, between the pad and the upper part, rather. But you get your lashes right there in between the two, and you squeeze, but you don't want to sit there and hold it right there. You kind of want to pump it open. Pump it open just a little bit, pull it out. Pump it open, pull it out. Pump it open, pull it out. Pump it open, pull it out. I know that might sound crazy, but basically it's pump, 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 pump. And as you're doing it, you're arcing it forward, like taking your arm and pulling it forward and up. Just like you're you don't want to stretch your eyelashes because you're going to risk pulling them out if you do. But like you're kind of like you are trying to pump them up towards the ceiling or up towards the sky, because that will help them to have more of a curl as well. So that's what you do. And you don't want to squeeze way too hard, but you want to have enough pressure for it to do something. I don't know if y'all can tell any difference there. My right, your left are curled. My left, your right are not curled. And I'm going to show you the difference in doing mascara with them curled versus without them curled. For me, I interchange, because sometimes I'm in so much a hurry, I really don't want to take time to curl them. I mean, granted, it's only like 30 seconds more, but still. When you're in a big hurry, sometimes you don't want to mess with curling. But this next product that I'm going to talk about is not something that I would use either if I was in a huge hurry. But the AOA Pre-Lash and Hyper Lash set, you can get these, it's a set on shopmissa.com for $2. And one is basically your lash primer. Right here is your lash primer. It's like a black lash primer is what it turns out to. And then the Hyper Lash is little fibers that you're putting on. I'm going to hold it up to the camera and see if you can tell anything here. Hopefully you can. But that right there, twirl the brush a little bit. I don't know if you can see any of those fibers there, but if you're wanting to play with fiber mascara, it's not bad, but I will warn you, it can easily get in your eyes. I mean, but it does give some pretty nice length, these two do. So that's why I thought I'd mention those here. And then I also have two other actual mascaras. And I will mention some other good mascaras besides these. This one here is the I Love Extreme Volume Mascara in waterproof. And the reason I prefer waterproof is because waterproof does tend to help hold the curl better, and it doesn't come off if I cry or if my eyes water. Of course, looking at me now, you can't tell my eyes water whenever I do my eyeliner and stuff, can you? My eyes have been watering ever since I did my liner. That's what happens, though, a lot of times whenever I do liner. And it just takes a little while for it to stop. But the Essence I Love Extreme Volume, this is what I'm going to be using on my top lashes. And all I do is I switch it up, really. Sometimes I will do straight up, going at the base, pull straight out. At the base, pull straight out. At the base, pull straight out. Other times, if I'm wanting and don't mind a little more spidery look, because whenever you do this, or whenever I do it at least, I do tend to get more spidery looking lashes, which means I don't have as many lashes. And that's if you put it at the base of the lashes and wiggle it back and forth, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. But I'm going to just do basic at the root and out, instead of wiggling. That was something I heard from Wayne Goss, a tip, and it seems to really work. So, but some other mascaras that are good: CoverGirl Clump Crusher, CoverGirl Super Sizer, the Maybelline Colossal in the bright yellow tube, That was a good one. Now, Wet n Wild, I have not been really impressed with their mascaras, but if you want to try them, go for it. I have tried the Mega Length, and that is a decent mascara, but it smudges really bad, even the waterproof. It smudges so bad, and transfers, and, you know. But if you're not worried about smudges and getting it all over, then I say go for it. But that right there is one eye with mascara versus no mascara. Can you tell that it kind of helps define the look even more? I went for a more bare eye. All it is highlighter and bronzer on my eyes besides my eyebrows. But, you know, because I wanted my eyes fairly bare. But the Maybelline, there's another one, Lash Sensational is another good one. Now, I can't really recommend any from L'Oreal or Revlon or anything like that. I've never tried L'Oreal mascaras. You know, I have tried some of Revlon's in the past and just never was a huge fan. So, it's basically whatever you like. Now, if you're worried about the black with the mascara, you can also get a clear mascara from e.l.f. They sell one for $2. It's a lash and brow mascara. And I'm just slowly building up this mascara. You can put as many coats on of mascara as you want to. With me, I say go big or go home. So, but mascara, that's one thing that really does help define the eyes. And then Emily Noel even recommends Clump Crusher for the lower lashes as well. But I will tell you this, Clump Crusher is about 50 cents more than this puppy right here, because I actually priced it today at the store. This is Maybelline Lash Discovery Mini Brush Waterproof. I'm going to show you the brush here. I mean, look at that teeny tiny brush. So I take it and just go a little bit back and forth. I'm hitting the tips more than anything on my lower lashes. But I will try to get it on them a little more. But I don't go hog wild. I've just recently started trying to get the lower lashes, honestly. So, and my left eye, I'm even worse because I obviously cannot see it. So, it's like I really have to go by feel. But you put it like right near the bottom of your eye, and then you can feel like it tickle the very tips, and I just go back and forth, whoop. Then I lightly touched it to the under my lash line, which takes us into the next step here in a moment. But if you feel like you have clumps in your lashes, now typically I would do this while they are still good and wet, but you can take a brush like this. It has a comb on one end and a brush on, or comb on one side rather, and a brush on the other. The brush I like using for my brows, but the comb, you can brush out your lashes and really get those clumps out. And then if you want to, you can go back for more mascara. Yes, that is really what I sometimes do. I go in and I brush those clumps, and I go in and put more mascara on. I believe I did that in a Get Ready With Me recently. Okay. I'm not going in and putting more mascara on, y'all. I'm just saying that you can do that if you want to. But right here, these are charcoal swabs. I can't say I recommend them, but just use regular old Q-tip. Take it and You always wait for the mascara to dry before you try to remove it. If you don't, then you're going to have it going all over the face. Trust me. Been there, done that, had to take my entire makeup off. But you wait for it to dry. Then you just take a Q-tip and go right underneath. And just clean it up a little bit. I don't really think I had anything there now that I look at it, but... And if you're worried about your unsteady hand, a little tip is to rest your arm on a table, on a desk, on something. You can even take it and anchor it on your other hand and put it up against your body, as long as your other hand is not shaking, and then do your lashes or your liner. And some people say that whenever you're doing your liner, a tip can be, whenever you've got your liner here and you're about to do it, put your finger on your actual face, and that helps anchor and steady your hand as well. So that's another tip for liner. So, and I plan on doing some hacks to see if they work for mascara and liner and all that in the future, so I do hope you subscribe to that. And I do believe I've gone through all my things right here in front of me. But basically, CoverGirl mascaras are pretty good, and I'm not a fan of the newest, I forget, not Lash Sensational. They came out with one recently, Peacock Flare. I'm not a huge fan of that one. But most of their mascaras that I've ever tried are pretty good. Maybelline, they have some decent ones out there. Any of the Colossal line, from what I've tried, Lash Sensational line, all that are good mascaras, so you can go for that. If you're wanting a cheaper eyeliner that is more goof-proof, in my opinion, where it's not as harsh as, say, some other eyeliners, like this one here, I'm going to show you a straight-up stroke of this. That Essence one, that is how dark the Essence one is. Now, if you go to Walmart, Walgreens, wherever, I've never seen this brand there. But you can get the e.l.f. waterproof eyeliner in a little pen format, and it is really good too. It's not as pigmented, so you have to go over it multiple times, but it is still a good eyeliner, and you're not as likely to go overboard, you know. To me, it's more beginner friendly for the e.l.f. one than some other, like, I tried, the first one I ever tried was the Maybelline Master Precise, I think. I don't know. It was the Midnight Master. It was one that Emily Noel used to rave about. And she's the one that I heard about the Lash Discovery from, too. But, yes, I learned a lot from Emily Noel 83. But, you know, so if you have any more questions about eyeliner or anything beauty related, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. You can also join my Blind Beauty Support Facebook group, where we talk about all things beauty, and I also try to have a little bit of fun with y'all and get to know you a little bit. So I hope you join me over there, as well as join my Facebook page, Blind Beauty. I'm also on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that jazz too, so I hope to see you over there as well. Thank you so much for watching, and also a reminder that I do have a giveaway going on, and you can join that, or I'll leave the link to that rather down below, where you can check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.